What is up, guys? So today we're going to be playing. Sorry, guys, not playing. We're going to be getting in the spooky mood today. Oh God, why do I look like that? Anyways, so like I said, we're getting into the spooky mood. It's currently 2:24 a.m. I have my light off. I don't know. I'm able to stay up all night. So I thought I could do maybe like make a little video of it. So I was thinking I could maybe make a little video on scary TikToks. The fuck? Anyways. So yeah. Alright. Let's get started, guys. I'm nervous.
Josephine Rosenthal's head. The mummified head of the first nun ever recorded to be possessed.
I hate that.
The blood and skin have been analyzed and found to contain unique genetic traits. They were attributed to a rare lineage.
What the fuck?
Both Josephine and her mother were hermaphrodites, able to
Am I
spontaneously
reading that
self-impregnate
right? Or am I
and
hearing
give
that
birth
right?
to children, although the condition would eventually kill them both.
Have you ever seen the dark, demonic-looking statue that's inside of the
That was fucking weird.
Vatican? It's called the
No, I haven't.
Resurrection, and it is a surrealist and modernized interpretation of Jesus rising from the crater.
That is not Jesus. Wait, is that Jesus? Hold on, is that Jesus? I don't think that is.
Of a nuclear apocalypse, and it is supposed to represent the second coming of Jesus Christ and the fatalistic and ominous connotations of that event. However, this same statue is situated at the most prominent point within Vatican City's Audience Hall, which is a building that just so happens to have its interior design shaped exactly like a serpent's head, with two windows that resemble slit-shaped reptilian eyes and two pillar structures surrounding both the Pope's seat and the huge demonic statue that look exactly like the fangs of a snake. The tiles on the walls and the ceiling design are also strangely reminiscent of the texture of a snake's skin. But it gets even crazier when you begin flipping and mirroring the images of the supposed Jesus statue. If you mirror the left side of the sculpture, you get what clearly looks like the head of Baphomet, with a demonic Luciferian humanoid creature that also closely resembles the traditional gray alien standing on top of it, almost as if conducting and controlling the head of the beast. If you decide to mirror the right side of the sculpture, you'll get an equally disturbing result, which is a strange demonic hammerhead humanoid creature with large wings emanating from its back and a swarm of bats surrounding its body.
Oh no. No, silly.
Oh, wait, what was the first one? Wait, hold on.
Surrounding its body.
Oh no.
Yeah. Guys, is she okay? Is that edited, or does she have like maybe a bad condition? I'm confused. If she has a condition, it's of course not scary. To be honest, it isn't really that scary at all.
No.
But then what is this? Wait, what is... Oh, I have no idea what... Oh, God. Okay, no. I see it now. So, like, there's, like the black hair, chin all bloody, the nose. Oh, are the kids... Oh,
Silly to try it, but it exploded.
I'm scared. It's literally 2:28, but what?
Hammerhead human.
No, silly to try it.
Are these dolls? Sorry guys, I'm just looking all around my room to make sure there's no monsters.
No, but it exploded. And they were both found dead. She must have been out of her head.
Wait, come on, don't go through it again. Come on.
Here it is.
Have you ever heard the forbidden secrets of Vatican?
No.
Exorcists and demons. In 2010, Reverend Gabriel Amorth made a shocking accusation that he believed the devil resided in the Vatican itself. The Reverend was 85 years old in 2010. For 25 years before that, he was the main exorcist of the Vatican,
Exorcist?
a position that most people may not realize. In all these years, Gabriel Amorth has handled 70,000 cases of demonic possession, which is a staggering and unbelievable number. He restrains people with ropes tied to their beds, then recites prayers to expel demonic entities from their bodies. It was a big shock because you would think that with so many exorcisms we would hear something about it in the news. However, these demonic possessions were almost completely covered up by the church. Most people had never even heard of the official Exorcist Association, a club of priests assigned to the mission to defeat the devil. According to Gabriel Amorth said in an interview with the Italian newspaper La Repubblica that the devil is invincible, explaining that the devil can be hidden, speak many different languages and can transform sometimes spirit items, needs 6 or 7 assistants, just to keep the possessed man in bed, while he vomits nails and glass shards. About the devil is in the Vatican. The priest said that the evidence is everywhere. He looks, although he does not mention any names. He says that the work of the devil is obvious for Vatican. He believes that cardinals have no faith in Jesus Christ, bishops have covenants with Satan, and all evil and corrupt races within the walls of the Vatican itself. Now what do you think? Subscribe and follow for more.
No, nothing.
Why are there 6 million bodies beneath the city of Paris? It's because in the 18th century, the graveyards in France were overflowing with bodies, and King Louis XVI needed a plan to organize this. So he arranged the construction of the catacombs. This is a whole second city underneath Paris. It's believed that the catacombs are over 350 kilometers long and are a complex maze of tunnels and corridors. You could imagine that getting lost in here would mean death, and it does. A hotel doorkeeper named Philibert Aspard stumbled into the catacombs and explored them a little bit. But when his single candle went out, he was surrounded by nothing but darkness and bones. His body was found 11 years later, and he was only identified because of the keys that he carried during his lifetime. There's also this video of a man exploring the catacombs, and suddenly dropped his veil and started sprinting away, which means either he got lost or he wasn't alone down there. Regardless, he was never seen again, and nobody knows what happened to him. And now you know.
A man hired a hitman to kill his wife, but she
That's
ended
scary.
up killing the hitman with her bare hands. On September the 6th, 2006, Susan Kuhnhausen had had a busy shift as an A&E nurse. As she got back to her home in southeast Portland, she saw that a note had been left for her from her husband, Mike. The pair had been married for 18 years, and he left the note to say that he was off to the beach. The 51-year-old then went upstairs when she was met with a terrifying attack. A stranger was hiding behind her door and jumped out and started attacking her with a hammer. Susan had no idea this man was Edward Haffey, who was a hitman hired by her husband to kill her. The 59-year-old criminal had been paid $50,000 to kill Susan. Luckily, due to her training as an A&E nurse, Susan was no stranger to self-defense.
Is this true, though?
She dived at the man, tackling him against the wall. She described her adrenaline going into overdrive, and she knew this was a fight for her life. She wrestled the hammer off him and struck him in the head. She screamed at him, asking who sent him, but he wouldn't reply. She ended up grabbing him by the throat and strangling him. She then describes panicking and running to try and escape. However, as she tried to flee the house, Edward grabbed her again and started punching her in the face. She decided to bite him in the arm in case she died so that he would be linked to the crime. Luckily, though, she managed to get him in a chokehold and eventually he went floppy. She grabbed the hammer and ran to her neighbour's house. It was there that she rang police, and obviously when they arrived at her house, they found the body of Edward Haffey. Police also discovered his daily planner, and in it was a note saying call Mike and Susan's husband's phone number. It transpired that the two knew each other and they were actually colleagues. A week after the attempted murder, police found Mike hiding out in Oregon. The next day, Susan filed for divorce. In 2007, Michael pleaded guilty to soliciting a murder-for-hire plot against his wife. Shockingly, he was only given 7 years in prison.
What?
Me? Obsessed with you? Yes. Yes, I am.
Is this even scary? Closer. It's gonna be closer. It's always a good idea. It's gonna get closer. One more time, and it's closed. Oh shit. Okay. I would not do that. It's gonna be closer. It's gonna be like right. Oh. And
This is what touches your foot when you're swimming.
I thought I was gonna like start running to her. Nothing touches my foot when I'm swimming though. Besides sand. So cute. Hold on. How can spiders survive in the ocean exactly? They're not fishes. I like spiders actually.
Let's talk about a disturbing entity in Silent Hill that blurs the line between an angel and a demon.
Wait. Oh, silent. That's where I am right now. I didn't move.
Valtiel.
I didn't move there, but I'm staying there for a couple days. Hopefully this is not true.
Valtiel's name basically means God's servant, and that's exactly what he does. Throughout the entirety of Silent Hill 3, he follows Heather Mason everywhere, just watching and waiting. But what exactly is he waiting for? Remember, Valtiel is
a dick. Sex. I mean, nothing.
being that serves God. And the antagonists in Silent Hill 3 are trying to resurrect God by using Heather Mason. So every time the player dies in Silent Hill 3, Valtiel drags Heather Mason off screen and revives her. And at the end of the game, when Heather Mason gets rid of the God growing inside of her, Valtiel steps in and forces the ritual to happen anyway, which births a disfigured version of God. There are also some theories that Valtiel may be related to Pyramid Head in some way, but I'm not too sure about that after researching.
How does a young woman go from looking like this to looking like this?
I'm pretty sure that's not a real picture, unless it's a condition. But
this is the disturbing case of Rhoda Derry. At age 16, Rhoda fell in love with the boy next door. His name was Charles Phoenix. Now, Rhoda came from a...
Let me guess. Who? Let me guess. That boy is a bad person, I'm guessing.
farming family, while Charles came from a really wealthy family. When the pair started to talk about marriage, Charles's mother was determined to break them up. So one day she approached Rhoda. She told her that if you don't leave my son alone, I'm going to put a curse on you. No one could have predicted just how traumatic this exchange would be for Rhoda. Like, it would cause her to have a complete mental breakdown. She told her family that she believed she was being haunted by a demon called Old Scratch. Now, her family struggled to contain her outbursts, and very soon they had to commit her. Warning, what happened to Rhoda is very disturbing, and so if you'd rather not know, this is your chance to scroll away. When they committed her to the asylum, Rhoda was placed into this box. She would remain in this contraption for decades. You see those holes in the bottom? Those were designed so that her feces could fall through. Now, reports from the time indicated that Rhoda received food and water, but really no other treatment or care. Conditions were so bad that other vermin, such as rats, had set up their home inside her box. After a couple of decades, she was eventually moved to a new hospital. There she was placed under the care of a doctor named George Zeller. When he discovered what had happened, he vowed that she would never be treated like that again. She was given proper care and was now sleeping in a bed. On October the 9th, 1906, at the age of 71, Rhoda passed away. She was buried on the grounds of the asylum with this tombstone placed on it. It reads, "They built this place of asylum so that no other human..."
Hold on. I'm gonna read this. They built this place of asylum so that no other human would suffer as you. You taught us to love and feel compassion towards the less fortunate. And then
would suffer. If you find stories about real-life people interesting, remember to follow 7 Sin Crimes.
What would you do if this happened to you?
Are you okay? Okay. How can I get you help?
What's Wait, what? Is that a sewer? Is that a sewer? There's someone down there. I kind of feel like he's a bad guy and he's down there because he's trying to hide from someone or something. Oh, oops, sorry guys. As you guys can see, I'm doing this on phone. I'm trying to, I'm practicing how to record on my computer. And it is one of those computers that can record. But I'm just trying to figure out how. I've seen a record button. But every time I click it, it won't work. And my internet doesn't work on my computer anymore. And it's so laggy. So I'm going to try figuring that out. And I'm going to pay fucking money to fix it.
How are you gonna get out? I have to tell someone that you're in here so you can get out. No. Can you see my phone flashlight? Yeah. Can you stick your hand up? I don't see you.
I see him.
I'm stuck upside down.
Working overnight at a hospital sounds
Upside
terrifying.
down.
A few years ago, a woman was working an overnight shift in the dementia ward of a hospital. And she went to go check in on one of her patients who had aphasia, which means that she couldn't speak. But it seemed like the older woman was trying to communicate something to the nurse. And the nurse got a really bad vibe. She's like, okay, something's clearly wrong here. When all of a sudden the woman with aphasia starts shaking, she looks terrified and she points at something behind the nurse. But when the nurse turned around, there was nothing behind her. The nurse is terrified, but she finishes her shift. She has to clock out downstairs in the basement of the hospital, and it's like 3 a.m. at this point. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she hears this clanging noise. So she peers around the corner into the hallway, and there's just a knife laying in the middle of the hallway. No explanation.
What?
I actually shared this scary story and a bunch of other hospital-related
I also see dead people. We're twins.
scary stories in this week's episode of the podcast.
The Milwaukee Cannibal. Between 1978 and
Cannibal?
1991, Jeffrey Dahmer, one of the most notorious serial
I know Jeffrey Dahmer.
killers in history, killed and dismembered 17 men and boys, often keeping their body parts as trophies. He was caught in 1991 when one of his intended victims escaped and alerted police. Dahmer was eventually convicted of 15 counts of murder and sentenced to life in prison. In 1994, he was beaten to death by a fellow inmate. His crimes continue to fascinate and horrify true crime enthusiasts and serve as a chilling reminder that evil can lurk in unexpected places. So that's how Jeffrey Dahmer became.
Have you ever wondered how accurate police sketches are? I'm going to show you someone who committed a crime and then a sketch, and we're going to see. And this is a series, so follow along for more. So in 1971, John List annihilated his entire family. John had recently lost his job, but for a while he was pretending that he still had a job. He would leave his house in the mornings, but would spend the whole day just reading and not being at work. He knew his family would eventually catch on, so on November 9th, very slowly and methodically, one by one, he took the lives of his mother, his wife, and all 3 of his children. And then he disappeared to start a new life. That is, until 18 years later, when Frank Bender, a police sketch artist, debuted this clay bust of what he thought John would look like at this time on America's Most Wanted. He age progressed John 18 years from the last time he had been seen, and he even got his glasses right. The bust was so accurate that a man named Robert Clark would be arrested in Denver because his neighbors called in a tip to the FBI. John had been living under that name for 18 years.
What is living in the Paris catacombs? Did you know that the remains of 6 million people are buried beneath Paris? The Holy Innocents Cemetery in Paris was built in the 12th century, but by the 1700s, it was full, and the country needed a place to bury its dead. The bodies were exhumed and moved to the old mining tunnels underneath Paris. The catacombs are 200 miles of old tunnels that Paris was built on top of. Eventually, the bones were organized into elaborate structures and decorative features inside the tunnels. However, many people say that you can hear voices echoing about the tunnels at night. But what's more interesting is that the police stumbled upon a full cinema and bar inside the tunnels. But when they came back the next day, everything had vanished. They only found a note left behind that read, "Do not try to find us." That is
I do not like
why
that.
many people
I
wonder about.
Wait, what's this? Oh, Jesus.
This video is going to change the way you look at the afterlife. Someone captured the moment a soul left someone's body after they died. Check it out.
Alright. Let me know if you guys saw it. I certainly saw it. And I was a ghost seer, ghost person. That's real. I'll tell you guys that. I can tell you. I know when demons, ghosts are real when I even see them on screen. And that demon ghost was real. For sure. Because we're almost done.
What if Lucifer succeeded in his rebellion? Lucifer was the most beloved of all God's angels. He was the most beautiful, with a voice that could make the heavens weep. But his heart was filled with pride. He believed that God had abandoned humanity, leaving them to suffer on their own. He grew increasingly resentful, and eventually gathered a group of like-minded angels to rebel against God's authority. Azazel, the prince of wrath and anger. Belphegor, the prince of sloth and idleness. Beelzebub, the prince of gluttony and excess.
He's a goblin.
Leviathan, the prince of envy and chaos.
He's a demon.
Asmodeus, the prince of lust and sexual desires. Mammon, the prince of greed and wealth. The war that ensued was one of the most epic battles in the history of...
What the hell? Wait, what am I supposed to be saying?
I'm pretty sure this guy encountered a skinwalker. Watch carefully.
I hated that. Alright. Okay, we're done. We are done. The last one. The last one scared the shit out of me. Okay, well, we're done. Thank you all for watching. Peace out.